Hey, towel truck each five fly fishers and anglers out there. Today we're going to tie what's locally called a Milton Midge because it works so well at the local reservoir. What this is a size 14 2457 Tiemco, small red wire rib, black thread. I'm using Viva's 14-aught, little peacock herl, and I think a 2.3 tungsten bead. So I'll stick another hook in the vise and get started. Okay. Okay, it's in good. Say Viva's black thread. Start the thread right behind the bead. Just get it started. Snip that off. Small red wire. It's really a simple fly, but I do a few things to make it a bit more durable. All right, I'm going to tie the wire right on the top of the hook shank. Bring it down the hook shank, kind of touching turns, best as I can. I like to turn the vise a little bit so I can see it from the side. Gives me a little better angle. I go down into the hook shank a bit so it's curved. Counterspin the thread on the bobbin to flatten the thread out a bit. And then I'll make just a little bit of a tapered body, and I'm also covering up all the spots I missed. So I have a solidly black body. Come to the thorax, go back down. And come back up. Go back down the part way again and come back up. I'm going to keep it fairly thin. Tie it off with a half hitch. Using a rotary vise. Bring the wire around. It's always a little harder to tie with a camera in your face. Helicopter that off. Okay, so one of the things that helps with durability is I use a little bit of the Solares Thin, a UV activated glue. I put just a tiny bit on. I don't want to make it all gloppy and funky looking. So get it covered on there. Tends to happen as a fish usually break the wire, catch enough fish, and then the flies in the bin. Okay, you can see that it looks it's not the way I like it. You can see the body looks kind of smooth. I want to keep some texture. I want to be able to see the wire ribbing. So I just take my finger and pull some of it off. I've got enough on there to anchor it, hit it with a light. Next is peacock herl. And I use the strung stuff, not the really good stuff, because I don't want a big bulky thorax on this fly. So tie 2 strands in, bring it back, and to help with strength, peacock herl is pretty fragile. I'll just wrap the peacock herl around the thread. I'll do that several times. Then hold the thread. I'm not holding the bobbin now, I'm just holding the thread and the peacock herl at the same time. And then, I can see I got a little blob there. I'll trim that off. Okay, tie that stuff off right behind the bead. So there's 3 wraps on that. Maybe one more, and I always make one in the front. What that does is it reorients your material away from the bead, so you don't have all that material that tends to fold over on the front of the bead. Other trick is when you're cutting materials off your bobbin thread sander, put your finger on it like this, push the bobbin and the thread away, and trim. You're less likely to catch your thread and cut your thread. Less likely. Done it so many times. Okay, whip finish. Sometimes I'll put a little head cement on the thread wraps and make a couple wraps with that. This time I'm not going to, just for expediency. Okay, that's it. That's the Milton Midge. I move a little closer so you can get a close-up of it. See if you can get that to focus. Come on, baby, there you go. There it is. Short and sweet, easy. I fish this. Yeah, rule of thumb is if I see a few decent-sized fish rising, I'll fish it about 3 feet down on an indicator. If I see dinks rising or no rises at all, I'll fish it just off the bottom. That's how I start, but if things change, and I'll try different things if nothing happens, because it's a very reliable midge. Okay, that's it. That's it for the month. See you next month.